Welcome to part 2 of the final exam review video solutions for Math 101. In this video, we're just going to do these chapter 2 problems. Let's get started. Number 1, we're going to simplify and then solve. So we're going to start with distributing. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down here. Number 1, we're going to distribute and get 5x plus 15 plus 9 equals 6 plus 3x, now distributing the 3, minus 6. Let me go ahead and make my pen a little less thick so it's easier to read. Okay, so now I have on this left side some like terms. I have 5x by itself, but then I have 15 and 9, so that's going to add together to be 24. And then I have 6 and negative 6 on the right hand side, so that's going to just cancel out, and we have 3x. Let's go ahead and subtract 5x from both sides. So I have 24 equals negative 2x divided by negative 2, and x equals negative 12. And you can always plug that back in to check it if you want to. Now number 2, we're solving, but we're solving for a specific variable, kind of rearranging everything. So up here, we have the 5 9ths. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the 9 and the 5 at the same time by multiplying by 9/5. So now on number 2, I have 9/5. C equals, and that's crossed everything out over there. So I'm left with f minus 13. Remember, we're solving for f, so the last thing you do is just add 32 to both sides. I said 13, I'm at 32. So 9/5 times c plus 32 equals Fahrenheit, or just f. Alright, number 3 is a little bit tricky because we've got these absolute values. And the thing with absolute values is you have to make one side positive, and one side negative. So we're going to start off with just the positive version of those. And on number 3, I'm just going to keep the left side the same and then change to a negative. Right, so now I have both options, one where it's positive w plus 3 and one where it's the negative version of w plus 3. So let's go ahead and solve one at a time. So 3w minus 1. Let's go ahead and simplify that by subtracting w on both sides for this one. So I have 2w minus 1 equals 3. Add 1. So 2w equals 4. Go ahead and divide by 2. And w equals 2. Now for my other side, I have one extra step because of that negative. So I'm going to distribute that in. And I have negative w minus 3. Right? So I've just changed that side to be negative. And I'm going to add w to both sides. So I have 4w now. Let's go ahead and add 1 at the same time. So now I have negative 3 plus 1, which is negative 2, divided by 4 is negative 2/4, or simplified, negative 1/2. You can always use the decimal on that one if you want to. Okay, that's 1 through 3. Let's look at number 4, which is an inequality, right? Greater than on that one. So I'm going to scroll down for a little bit more room. And I think you can use this next trick on equations or inequalities. We're just going to do something to get rid of those fractions there. So a common denominator between all of these would be 6. And so if I multiply by that number instead of making it a denominator, then it's going to end up crossing out all of those denominators. So let's multiply by 6 here and here, and on both sides to keep the balance. And I'm going to go ahead and put the 6 here and put like a little parentheses there, since it's that whole thing. So on this first one, I have now 24, so it's just 4 over 1. And the 6 divided by 3, the second one is 2, so the 3 is gone, and I have now minus 2. And still in parentheses, I have my 3x minus 1. I haven't distributed that yet. And these 6's cross out, so it's just x. And then here, I would have 6 divided by 2 is 3, so 21. Let's go ahead and scroll again to finish solving that one before we get to number 5. So just distribute negative 2. that becomes negative 6x, and positive 2 greater than x plus 21. I'm going to go ahead and combine this 24 and 2. So I have negative 6x plus 26. And let's subtract x and move the 26. So I have now negative 7x greater than negative 5. Positive 21 minus 26 is negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and just divide by negative 7. Anytime you divide or multiply by a negative number, that means you're going to have to flip this guy around. So it's now going to be a less than sign. So x is less than 5/7. If you want to write that in set notation, you'll put this fancy brackets x such that x is less than 5/7. And there you go. Okay, number 5. Another inequality and absolute value. So we're going to put together ideas from number 3 and number 4 in number 5. So it's 3 minus 8x. Should I remember? Put it right here. 3 minus 8x less than 19 in the absolute value. So whenever you have a less than, that means you're going to set up an and, or I like to call them the in-betweens. And so we're going to have less than 19. So all this part is staying the same, but then we're going to put the negative 19 on the lower end of our inequality. And we're going to solve from there. So let's subtract 3 from both sides. So then I get negative 22. It's less than negative 8x. And I'm going to subtract 3 again. So that is 16 now. Divide everything by negative 8. And just like on number 4, that means we're going to have to flip the direction of the inequality. So I'm going to go this way now. 22 divided by 8 simplifies to be 11/4 x and negative 2. If you want to write that the other direction, it'd go from negative 2 to 11/4. There you go. Either way is correct. All right, let's look at number 6. Oh no, the word problem. Let's set it up. So it says the perimeter of Whitney's rectangular driveway. So let's draw a rectangle. And the perimeter, we know, is 168 feet all the way around. The length, so let's call this the length, is 12 feet longer than 3 times the width. So we have 3 times the width plus 12. What are the dimensions of the driveway? So that means we have to find both the length and the width. Now perimeter is just adding up all the sides, or you can use this formula for rectangles and perimeter, 2 lengths and 2 widths. So let's go ahead and plug everything in that we know. 168, 2 times the length, which is 3w plus 12, and plus 2, just w by itself. Now we can solve. Go ahead and distribute that 2, so we have 168 equals 6w plus, 6w plus 24 plus 2w. Combining like terms, we'll have 8w plus 24. So let's go ahead and subtract 24 from both sides. Let's scroll so we have a little bit more room. So then I will have 144 equals 8w. Divide both sides by 8. You get 18 is the width. But remember that they said we want both sides, we want the dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and use my little smaller equation for length. So 3 times the width plus 24, and that all simplifies to be 66. And let's make sure we have the units right. Feet. So we have 18 feet by 66 feet. Alright, that's our chapter 2 review problems. Go and watch the next video for chapter 3.